We come to the Gold Coast. We've seen our fair share already this weekend, with more to come, no doubt. The drivers, as you can see, are getting ready to head out for the parade. And Greg and Mark couldn't have asked for a more spectacular day for it here on the Gold Coast.
Jess, thank you. The vibe is unbelievable, isn't it? I've always enjoyed coming here over the years, Scafey, but today I'm a big crowd. Just got a great feeling about it, this one, doesn't it?
Can you believe 24 hours from the drama we saw unfold today? Yesterday, clouds, heaps of rain, all the drama of a wet weather start. And here's some of the drama. There's Paul Dumbrell getting into the side of Steve Owen. Have a look at this little moment as they emerged into the wet weather line. Off to the left, on board now with Dumbrell for this. Check this out. Lucky to get away with it one, Rusty.
Absolutely, and he was gutted when I spoke to him about it in the garage a little later. Obviously copped a 15-second time penalty. They did the driver change, and Jamie had to frustratingly sit there until the time penalty was served. But typical of Paul Dumbrell, multiple champion in the Dunlop Super 2 Series and a very good co-driver. Hand up straight away, my blue.
Yeah, he did, and I like it when that admission is there. And Steve Owen, when he came into our Fox host position last night, was really chuffed with his third career win, and he thought that he was over and out too. It actually hit quite hard, but it was a beautiful drive by Mostert to finish off that race. Now, Chaz just decided to take over the passenger seat rather than waving to people. He's got a more relaxed view of the world.
I think that's with everything he does in life, isn't it? So, great character, and hasn't the resurgence of pro drive with the win at the Sandown 500 for Cam Waters and Richie Stanaway? It's been evident now for a number of rounds. I know Rod Nash said to both you guys about the fact that let's not panic in the early part of this season. We've got the ingredients. Let's just continue the rebuild here, and we are seeing the evidence of that now, particularly from a championship point of view.
Yeah, within 121 points leading into this afternoon's race 22. And when you think about how this is unfolding, not only has it brought Chaz Mostert right into play, but it's also brought Van Gisbergen into play in the first 5 cars. So his qualifying performance will make a big impact into that lead today, 217 points away. But it has been an extraordinary series in terms of the level of competition and rivalry we've seen with Fabian Coulthard and Scott McLaughlin and the PRA guys before, really taking it to Red Bull Racing Australia this year, back to a real Ford and Holden tribal rivalry.
And clearly that's resonating with the audience, which I think both in television land and here at the circuit I think is tremendous. This was polar opposites in the space of 24 hours. The Freightliner team on the podium, picking up some much needed surfboards yesterday, but then in Armour All qualifying today, an engine let go, spectacular fire, Slade getting out of the car and okay. They quickly extinguished the damage, but they've had to replace the engine in that car, haven't they?
That's right, it popped an oil line off. When it popped the oil line off, it's obviously caught on fire and now destroyed the engine as a consequence, but it also burnt a lot of the wiring loose. So a lot of work for car 14, and as we said earlier, the bad luck has continued. What about Scotty McLaughlin? He's been the pace setter all year, and this young man, 14 pole positions, had the drama at Bathurst with the engine stopping, and as a consequence of this spin yesterday for Alex Prema, made contact with the left and right hand side when it comes to rest. So check this out, he's out sideways, he moved to the inside, he got yielded, but then had a couple of Commodores hit the back corner. This is on board now. Flops a lot, bang, gets yielded, and then into the back was Macaulay Jones. So a lot of damage, and again, for them, a tough start to the weekend. This will be an interesting one for Alex Prema today in terms of how he can come back from there.
A lot of pressure in the sense that Scotty is still very much in the mix for the championship, just 76 points behind his teammate Fabian Coulthard in the title race. But the story, if you've just joined our coverage today, Shell v Power Racing have not had a good qualifying. Neither car, incredibly, making that top 10 shootout, so they've got work to do today.
They certainly do. We just picked up on Aaron Russell there, the young Novocastrian, and remember we finish our season with our grand finale up the streets of Newcastle with the Coates Hire Newcastle 500. Cannot wait for it. 2/3 of the track's on the water, not this sort of water. Todd Kelly got 25 points for that infringement yesterday. Big contact with the back of Garth Tander, and he didn't mean it. He was just basically out of control from the time he put on the brake there, Greg, and in the end, Garth was just parked in the wrong spot.
Fortunately, the damage not as from in the crash looked reasonable, pretty decent there when you saw it unfold. But the team were here at Nissan Motorsport until about 10:30 last night, completing the repairs on car 7. It's good to go today. Wonderful that Lee Holdsworth was able to book a spot. It was a bit of a nail biter, but in Armour All qualifying, he got the final spot for the top 10 shootout. Good work. He had, well, not a great run in that shootout with a curb hop, but still to be in the shootout, given the dramas yesterday for Preston Hire Racing, that's positive.
For sure. And just consider the pressure on young Alex Roy today, 17 years of age, with Alex Davison very experienced. But consider the pressure for the co-drivers around one of the most difficult places to pass, one of the most unforgiving layouts, and pretty much to the man and the woman, Simona, there will be co-drivers starting this in terms of championship, and the way that this rolls out, a lot of risk versus reward. We always say that, but this is a place that really bites if you make a mistake.
Dean Fiore there, he's got a cool vest on, be nice and cool before he jumps in the car. For Michael Caruso, clearly going to start this race, and we got a glimpse a moment ago as the Nissan Motorsport drivers come through in the parade of David Wall, and he's literally stepped straight out of a nail-biting finish to the Carrera Cup Championship here, and your partner Rick Kelly this afternoon. Great job for that small Sydney team to win that Carrera Cup title.
And our Bathurst winners, great to see Dave Reynolds enjoying the crowd, and people would have been yelling out over that Bathurst win, a very famous win for David, for Luke Yulden, and for Holden supporters. Obviously a massive day for them. A little mistake in the top 10 shootout put Dave Reynolds back, but it was a good effort to get into the top 10. He's been very fast all year.
What did he say to you the other day about the reaction to the Bathurst win? Just a few people saw it.
It's a big event, isn't it?
Only 3 million.
What about Lowndes and Steve Richards? What an experienced combo. And for Triple Eight, 1, 2, 3 on the grid, Lowndes third. And they'll take some beating this afternoon, and so will that couple there, with Richie Stanaway and Cam Waters, who were just superb at Sandown for their debut victory together. Will Davis and Jonathan Webb, Bathurst winners from last year, and the pressure on this man today.
Big time. Buried in the pack, Fabian Coulthard, Tony D'Alberto with a big mission to do, but he needs to get some points and to keep that championship lead if he can. And there's all kinds of activity in and around this event, but something that's been a bit of a signature is Miss Supercars, and the crowning has happened in recent days here for 2017. Miss Supercars, we say a congratulations to Sophie Budak, winner this year, and the stage is now very much set for a big afternoon of racing here on the streets of Surfers Paradise.